is late model stock car country, and today, Cayuga International Speedway plays host to the MOLSON Canadian 300, presented by Castrol XLR Motor Oil. Hello, everybody. I'm Bill Lincoln. Well, it's that time again. Time for a showdown between ASA and Canadian Oval Track Racing. 300 searing laps are on this 5/8 mile oval track. And with me is my colleague, Gary Poindexter. And Gary, they're billing this one as a 3-for-1 special.
That's right, Bill. Everybody's getting into the act this year. There's 3 races in one in the MOLSON Canadian 300. First, it's the ongoing battle between Ford and GM bodied cars. And you know, Ford dominated the series the first of the year by winning 4 in a row. As a matter of fact, it was Mark Martin's Miller T-Bird that won the MOLSON Canadian 200 in June. However, GM has increased its support to the racers so much that the Pontiac Firebird has roared back to take the last 5 ASA wins. So the score now is GM 5 and Ford 4.
Well, the second race of prime importance, of course, is the ASA championship battle between Alan Kulwicki in a T-Bird. Kulwicki has 1,266 points, and Hollywood Dick Trickle with 1,252 points. And finally, the races should appeal to most Canadian fans, and that's the battle for ASA Rookie of the Year honors.
That's right, Bill, and that's Bill Stevenson from Richmond Hill, Ontario, who's running 10th in the national point standings with 722 points. And knocking on the door right behind him in 11th position is London, Ontario's Russ Erlin with 713. We had a chance to ask Russ if he thought he would catch up with Bill Stevenson this year.
I have a new program with Ford of Canada for a new Thunderbird. We're going to be running a Ford engine in it, built by Prototype Engineering. The car is going to be assembled and built by Junior Hanley of Oakville. He's a master Canadian engine builder. I think he's one of the best, and he's a good friend also. We look forward to being consistent for the rest of the year and finishing in the top 10. I think it's just a matter of finishing in the top 10, and we should be able to pull off the rookie point lead.
Another rookie of sorts who's here today is this man driving number 66, Rusty Wallace. Rusty is the current NASCAR Grand National Rookie Champion, and during qualifying, he had troubles while driving Mark Martin's backup car and could only manage a 20.148 seconds qualifying lap, putting him in 10th position. The pole position was won by Special K Alan Kulwicki, who earlier today backed his car at speed into the wall, damaging the rear bodywork. But that didn't stop him putting his car at the front with a 19.742 seconds hot lap. Not quite as good as his record of 19.409, which he set during the MOLSON Canadian 200. So there you have it, 3 races in one. NASCAR rookie champ Rusty Wallace is here. Alan Kulwicki is in the pole position. And they, along with the rest of the field, will be vying for that $80,000 in prize money. We'll be back with the start of the MOLSON Canadian 300, presented by Castrol XLR, in just a moment. Welcome back to the MOLSON Canadian 300 from Cayuga International Speedway. The over 19,000 fans are ready, as is pole sitter Alan Kulwicki and his Hardee's Thunderbird. And here's MOLSON's Mike Gridley on the start line.
It's now time for the start of the MOLSON Canadian 300. Gentlemen, let's go racing.
32 late model stock cars are ready to start their 300-lap event. And here's Gary Poindexter with a starting order.
On the front row is ASA points leader Kulwicki, then Miller. Next is MOLSON 200 winner Mark Martin with Mike Eddy, followed by Trickle, Sineker, SAUTER, and top Canadian Russ Erlin.
I see NASCAR regular Rusty Wallace in on the 5th row. That could be a real struggle for him to keep up with the leaders.
Row 9 has Kent Stauffer beside Russ Erlin's rival for the Rookie of the Year honors, Bill Stevenson. Erlin and Stevenson are so evenly matched that there's only 9 points separating them. Stevenson at the moment has the upper hand.
Don Biederman on row 16, a man who's come out of retirement for this 300-lapper. There used to be some great battles here between Biederman and Junior Hanley. I wonder if they'll do some dueling today, especially with an $80,000 purse on the line.
There's someone who's ready to cash in. That's Butch Miller getting his racing gear organized and bringing the Pontiac Firebird up to speed.
And the pace car has all these participants in pretty good order on the back straight before heading into the field. And here's Gary Poindexter with the start of the MOLSON Canadian 300.
Alan Kowicki in car number 28, the pole sitter in the Hardee's Ford Thunderbird. And alongside him is Butch Miller in car number 52. The green flag flies and the race is underway. Mark Martin in car number 2 with Mike Eddy right behind him in car number 88. And there's Dick Trickle in car number 99. These two drivers battling it out throughout the season. Alan Kowicki, the current national point leader in car number 28, leads Butch Miller in the 52 car. Mark Martin in another Ford in car number 2 out of Batesville, Arkansas, the Miller American Thunderbird. Mike Eddy, the only 4-time ASA national champion in the field, running 4th.
And there's the order with Kowicki, number 28 in first, Miller next, and a good battle for 3rd and 4th between MOLSON 200 champ Martin and Eddy, followed by Trickle and SAUTER.
Bob Straight's team looks on as the leaders go through corner number 3 on this 5/8 mile oval. Kowicki in the lead. Butch Miller in pursuit right behind him. And there's Mark Martin in car number 2. It's Ford, Pontiac, and Mark Martin hit the outside retaining wall as he came out of turn number 4. The track must be very slippery, and Mark slows it down. You see a little bit of smoke coming out the right side of the car. And Jim SAUTER also high on the outside of the race course in car number 5.
There's team manager Benny Ertel. He must be concerned about Martin hitting the wall. And look at this. Hollywood Dick Trickle, number 99, is on the inside of Mike Eddy.
And that's a quick move on the inside groove by Dick Trickle in car number 99 as he moves up into 4th position. Mike Eddy relegated back into 5th in car number 88 out of Midland, Michigan.
I had a chance to ask Dick if winning only one race this year was a big concern of his.
I'm not really worried at this time, and we've been doing a lot of research and development work on our cars, and I think that we've picked up a little momentum, and I'm looking at a better last half of the season than the first half. And we had to go to work because the ASA sanctioning body gave the Ford a 100-pound weight break, which made us work a little harder to compete against them, and I think we're getting there now.
Well, there's someone who looks like he's not going to get anywhere now.
That's number 27, Bill, Joe Bolesky from Barrie, Ontario in a Pontiac. He sure looks like he may be our first casualty today as the leaders go past a very smoky Firebird. And here's a battle for 7th spot between number 41, Tom Harrington, and number 66, Rusty Wallace. Rusty puts his foot down and takes Harrington on the backstretch. But I don't think Rusty's too comfortable in that car. It's Mark Martin's backup vehicle, and if you watch him coming off the corners, the car doesn't seem to want to turn into the straights too well. Right behind Harrington is number 84, Bob Sineker, a man who is down on his luck this year, especially at Cayuga.
There's our first yellow caution flag over corner number 2, and it appears as if something's on the track.
Well, it looks like a drive shaft, Bill.
Well, that corner worker's handling it kind of carefully. I wonder who it belongs to.
Well, I can tell you who it belongs to. It's Bob Sineker. No wonder he looked like he was coasting. The bad luck continues for him.
Well, they've restarted this 300 lapper, and Alan Kowicki still holds the top position.
Well, he did, but there's Butch Miller in car number 52 pulling away, and Kowicki appears to have something gone wrong. His car slowing down. The Hardee's Thunderbird really going slow. Here comes Mark Martin up in car number 2, running in 2nd. It looks like Dick Trickle in car number 99 out of Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin, running in 3rd, and Jim SAUTER finally running good in car number 5.
Kowicki is headed for the pits, Gary, and it's almost as if the engine stopped running.
Well, he's out of the car, and that's certainly a bad sign.
That is a disappointing thing. You get the pole position, you expect to lead this parade, and Kowicki's a good driver, and then this has to happen.
Well, the big thing also is he leads the current national point standings, and this is certainly going to hurt him as Dick Trickle will be closing in. But meanwhile on the track, it's Butch Miller in command of the race, and Dick Trickle right on the back bumper of Mark Martin in car number 2. It looks like Jim SAUTER still holds on to number 4 position. In car number 5, Mike Eddy runs 5th, and it's Rusty Wallace in 6th in car number 66, and Dick Trickle moves on the inside of Mark Martin, challenging and taking away that number 2 position. So Mark Martin going a little wide, and Dick Trickle, the veteran that he is, goes the inside and takes advantage of Martin. And Jim SAUTER tried it also, but it just didn't work for him. Mike Eddy right behind. Oh, those cars almost swapping paint. Who was that? That was Mike Eddy in 88 and Rusty Wallace. Things are really getting rough out there as they head into turn number 1. Trickle still runs in 2nd position in car number 99. Martin running 3rd. And Butch Miller at this time pulling away.
There's the new race order with Rusty Wallace now up to 5th, just behind Jim SAUTER, and the top Canadian in the 72 orange T-Bird, Junior Hanley, holding on to 8th position.
That's Mark Martin's Ford Thunderbird, and his number matches his position. He's now in second, and here's a disappointed Alan Kowicki in the pits.
Well, the car was running really well. We were leading, and everything was going along pretty good. And then I got a flat tire. Apparently when somebody twisted off that drive shaft over there, maybe I ran over a piece of something, and as soon as the green flag came out, I could feel the tire was going flat. We came in and changed that, and I lost the lap. And, you know, that wasn't too bad. We might have been able to overcome that, but then I went out, ran a couple more laps, and blew the engine, so it just wasn't my day today.
Wow, that's number 18, Chet Cosin, into the wall between corner 3 and 4, and that brings out the yellow caution flag. Boy, did he ever get loose in that top groove.
You're right, Bill. There seems to be a lot of material that's been thrown to the outside of the racetrack.
There's Junior Hanley in the pits for tires and gas.
And I believe that's second place, Mark Martin also in. Yes, car number 2 is in for left side rubber. Here comes Dick Trickle in car number 99. They go to the left side of his car. There's Victor standing watching as they get that car ready. Martin is down.
Martin is away, warming up his tires on the way out.
Number 66, Rusty Wallace is in. As they look to the left side, the crew hustling around the car, and now Dick Trickle remains in. Evidently, they're taking on 4 tires. They drop, oh, the jacket's caught on the car, Bill. Look at that.
And we'll be back with more of the Molson Canadian 300 presented by Castrol XLR in a moment. Welcome back to the Molson Canadian 300. I'm Bill Inkall, and with me from Cayuga International Speedway is Gary Poindexter. And there's the race order with Butch Miller still holding the lead ahead of Harold Fair, Sauter, Martin, Lunn, Wallace, Harrington, Jones, and Trickle.
And there's a pretty good race going on for second place right now between number 81, Harold Fair from Michigan, and Wisconsin's number 5, Jim Sauter, as they all line up behind the leader, Butch Miller.
It looks to me, Gary, like they're very reluctant to try that upper groove in case they slide on the loose rubber in the corners.
Well, I agree with you, Bill, and it may be a one-groove racetrack later on in this race as we continue for 300 laps here. Butch Miller in the lead in car number 52. Harold Fair right behind him in car number 81. And Harold Fair doing an excellent job this afternoon. I believe this is the best he's run all year long. Jim Sauter in car number 5. This is his 3rd car of the 1985 season. The first car was a brand new car. He absolutely couldn't do anything with it. The second car was the 1984 car, and now he's finally gone to another brand new car and appears to be very happy with it. As you can see, he's going on the inside, challenging Harold Fair for that number 2 position. And it appears as though Junior Hanley is running very well in car number 72. He's running in 4th position. The battle goes on between Wisconsin's Jim Sauter in car number 5 and Harold Fair in car number 81. Certainly Jim Sauter has won his share of races with ASA, but Harold Fair in car number 81 has never won.
Look at that. Just what we were talking about. The loose rubber looks as if Ed Evans is into the wall between corners 2 and 3 as the cars go by fairly slowly.
You're right, Bill, and it appears as though Butch Miller's going to take advantage of this yellow flag as he makes his first pit stop in car number 52. He's in for tires, fuel, and a cold drink. Let's watch them work. You know, there's a lot of tricks that these guys use, like gluing the nuts onto the rims to speed up the tire change and using lugs with coarse threads to make sure that the nuts go on fast and are not cross-threaded.
Well, Miller's assistant crew chief told me that they sometimes try to out-psych the other teams by making it look as if their man is going to come in for a pit stop when he really isn't.
You're right, Bill. There's more than just the race on the track going on here. But the Miller team's having some problems with that right front tire. They can't seem to get it on there. Now they got it. The jack is down, and they're away. But he'll have to restart at the back of the pack.
Well, the ASA organizers make it mandatory that you have to make at least one pit stop.
Harold Fair, your leader in car number 81. The first time this year leading the race with Jim Sauter running second in car number 5. And Hanley's in there, but he's a lap down. The green flag's back out, and we're back underway with the Molson Canadian 300. Harold Fair, the leader in car number 81. Jim Sauter runs second in car number 5. And it's Mark Martin running in 3rd. Junior Hanley's in there in car number 72, but he's being shown a lap down. Ken Lund, the 1984 Rookie of the Year, runs fourth. And it's Rusty Wallace, the 1983 ASA National Champion, running in fifth position in Mark Martin's backup car. So Wallace running very strong, and Harold Fair in the lead the first time this year as he and Jim Sauter get in the turn together. Oh! I think Sauter made contact with Harold Fair, and what bad luck. Harold Fair finally gets in the lead of a race, and he's spun out.
Well, there's another casualty, number 62, Wayne Keeling in the Thompson moving Pontiac. Looks like a flat outside rear tire. And there's number 55, Bill Stevenson from Richmond Hill into the pits. He needs those finishing points in order to retain his rookie lead over London's Russ Erlin.
And the green flag is back out, and defending MOLSON Canadian 300 champion Jim Sauter in car number 5 is now in the lead as he takes off down the backstretch in front of Mark Martin.
There's the race order. Jim Sauter in front, followed by Martin, Wallace, Jones, Trickle, Harrington, Miller. And Butch Miller hasn't wasted any time moving up through the field after his first pit stop.
Rusty Wallace running very strong, with there's Junior Hanley right behind him a lap down, and he's kind of in the way as the lead trio pull away with Jim Sauter in command of the race. Mark Martin running second in car number 2, and his teammate Rusty Wallace in car number 66 runs in third spot. And Tom Jones in car number 0 out of Northbrook, Illinois, is running in fourth position. And this is his best run for 1985. Tom had a terrible year last year, but the cars run very well. He's moved up several positions during the previous races, but it seems like something always goes wrong and the car breaks. Well, Rusty Wallace certainly hasn't broken in car number 66 as he makes a move around Mark Martin, his teammate, and it's Wallace in second, Martin back in third as Jim Sauter leads.
I spoke to Wallace about his car and asked him why he didn't bring his own.
I decided to get together with Mark Martin, who owns the couple Ford Thunderbirds out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and try to put together a program with him where I could bring the cars up on a research and development program with Dillon Enterprises and try to get the Dillon chassis working better at the Cayuga Speedway. It just so happened to be the only car available to bring up at the time to do a system like that was the Ford Thunderbird of Mark Martin's. So he was kind enough to help me out with that. I guess you could say I'm kind of a research program right now trying to understand the chassis and how to make a car like that work better up here. But I tell you what, Mark's only about a 5-foot-something fella, and I'm 6'1", and that was a real change. We had to totally take the seat out, change the steering column and everything. It was a lot of trouble, but if it all pans out where we can learn something this race, it'll all be worth it.
Well, it sure looks like it's worth it now. Rusty is pushing number 5, Jim Sauter, for the lead.
Well, Rusty running very strong, comes to the inside and challenging Jim Sauter for that number 1 position, but Sauter hangs on as they go into turn number 1. Rusty, for some reason, is extremely dominant when he runs with the American Speed Association. As we mentioned earlier, he won the championship in 1983. He came to Milwaukee this year and dominated the field to win the 200-lapper at the Milwaukee Mile. Rusty again on the inside, challenging Sauter, and I believe Jim's going to hold on again. Now it's Rusty Wallace back on the inside. That's really a 2-car race for that number 1 position. Mark Martin still runs in third in car number 2. Sauter trying to hold on, certainly would like for something to go on right here at Cayuga. He won here last year. He'd like to make it 2 years in a row, and certainly he needs to have his luck turned around in 1985. Last year, when he was at the MOLSON Canadian 300, it seemed like nothing could go wrong for him. This year, nothing has gone right. So Jim Sauter in the position he wants to be, with Rusty Wallace trying to take it away from him in car number 66. And those twin cars, Rusty Wallace in the 66 car and Mark Martin in car number 2, runs in second and third position. Wallace just doesn't give up. He continues with tremendous pressure right on the back bumper of Jim Sauter. And can you imagine that the rear view mirror of Jim Sauter must be filled with a Ford Thunderbird of Rusty Wallace. Wallace again on the inside, challenging for the lead. Wheel to wheel, they go around this 5/8 mile oval here at Cayuga International Speedway. Rusty now with the edge, and he finally takes the lead. Rusty Wallace in the lead, Jim Sauter runs second.
There are the race standings now, with Rusty Wallace ahead of Sauter, Martin, Dick Trickle, Tom Jones, and Tom Harrington. But I don't think that Jim Sauter in the number 5 car is too content in second. He's right on Wallace's bumper.
Well, he certainly is, Bill, and he stays right with him, trying to take back over the... Oh, there's a spin. There's rookie Bill Stevenson from Richmond Hill in car number 55. But he hung on to it and brought the car on around, and certainly he wants to stay in there for that rookie race. Mark Martin and Dick Trickle battling for the number 3 position. And Trickle certainly trying to get up as far as he can in this race because he's also battling for the current national point lead. Kowicki holds it. Trickle's running second, and Trickle has had a bad year up until just last week when he ran at Oswego, New York, and won that race. So he's trying to make it 2 in a row here at the Cayuga International Speedway. Trickle the inside, challenging Mark Martin, and Martin hangs on, and there's Butch Miller right up in behind them. And remember, Butch has come all the way from the back of the field after that pit stop. And Dick Trickle goes into third position in car number 99 on the inside of Mark Martin, and Butch Miller takes advantage of that inside line also as Martin drops back another position in car number 2. Miller running a very strong race as he goes after Dick Trickle in car number 99.
And the wall has claimed another victim. It's Tom Jones. And look at those rear wheels spinning in the debris.
And Dick Trickle taking advantage of this yellow flag as he ducks into the pits. The right side goes up. They're changing the Goodyear tires, and there's something you don't normally see. A hand wrench being used by the pit crewman there on the left front. Evidently, he's just trying to get ahead of the other wrenches, going around checking that left side. And yeah, he says everything's okay. They let Dick back down, and he's back out on the racetrack.
Well, they're ready to start again with number 66, Rusty Wallace out in front. Gary, he told me before the race that he was sure he was going to win this one.
Jim Sauter is running behind Rusty Wallace on the track, and it's Butch Miller in car number 52. But Rusty has a commanding lead in his T-Bird with Sauter and Miller battling to get by number 41, Tom Harrington, who's a lap down in 6th place.
I think that Wallace has only pitted one time throughout the MOLSON Canadian 300, but I guess those Goodyears must be holding up all right.
Well, this track is not especially hard on tires. Over this distance, it's driver fatigue that usually means the difference between winning and losing. As a matter of fact, Butch Miller has a padded metal bar which he pulls down and rests his head against, especially when he's turning the corners.
There's number 99, Dick Trickle, who has wasted no time at all getting back into the action.
And Butch Miller's into the wall in corner number 4. He appeared to just let his car get a little bit off the line, and wham, that was it. He's back going again just ahead of number 81, Harold Fair. So that puts number 5, Jim Sauter, in front with Hollywood Dick Trickle, number 99, knocking at the door. And right behind him is Mark Martin out of Batesville, Arkansas, in car number 2, as that lead trio battle it out for the lead. Sauter in car number 5 holding on. Trickle right behind him. Look at Mark Martin put the pressure on Dick Trickle, the number 2 spot. Oh, look at that.
That's number 52, Butch Miller, and he really slammed into corner 1. It doesn't look like he has any control over the car. Boy, I hope he's all right.
Well, the yellow flag's out, and he's off the track, but I don't think that Butch will be able to continue. Jim Sauter, the leader, is in car number 5. The right side jacked up on that car. They take on right side rubber, a quick pit stop, and he's right back and underway.
Well, there's what's left of Butch Miller's car. He's been taken to the medical center, but seems okay, just dazed. We'll be back with more in a moment. Welcome back to the concluding laps of the MOLSON Canadian 300, presented by Castrol XLR. I'm Bill Inkall, and with me is Gary Poindexter. And if you've been with us, you know that Butch Miller hit the wall earlier in a big way. But he's all right, and the lead now belongs to number 66, Rusty Wallace, the 1984 NASCAR Rookie of the Year.
And a great race between Rusty Wallace and Dick Trickle, and Mark Martin and Harold Fair. Rusty in car number 66. There is Mark Martin in car number 2, and Harold Fair right behind him in car number 81. Harold earlier was leading the race, and he and Jim Sauter swapped a little paint in turn number 4, and unfortunately, he finds himself back in the 4th position. Dick Trickle goes to the inside, and he goes for the lead. Can he hang on? Nobody knows at this point, and it looks like Trickle may take the lead, and yes, he does. Rusty Wallace back in 2nd position in car number 66, and it's extremely important for Trickle to take this lead not only in the race but also in the national point standings. Alan Kowicki is out with a broken engine. He came into the race leading, and now it's Trickle in the lead of the race, and he may make it 2 in a row after winning at Oswego last weekend. So Dick Trickle in the lead. Rusty Wallace runs 2nd.
There's number 91, Russ Erlin from London. He's staying in there trying to gain valuable points towards the ASA Rookie of the Year Championship.
And here comes number 81, Harold Fair out of Livonia, Michigan. On the inside, as Wallace goes wide, slips up to the marbles. And now Wallace is back on the gas, and he's challenging Harold Fair again. And that's a race for 2nd spot. And what a race it is as Harold Fair Motors away from Rusty Wallace. Wallace appears to be having some problems with the handling of the Ford Thunderbird. Harold in second, solidly now. Dick Trickle in the lead in car number 99 as they go to the outside of a slower car that's several laps off the pace. It looks like that's car number 96, driven by Don Biederman, another one of the Canadian drivers. Dick Trickle in the lead in car number 99, and he's in traffic as he closes in on another slower car. It's Harold Fair running second in car number 81, but it's all Dick Trickle in the lead in car number 99 as the white flag comes out. 1 lap to go for the defending ASA national champion as he heads out of turn 2 down the backstretch. Only 2 more turns and the checkered flag will wave for Dick Trickle in car number 99. Everything's careful now as he takes it easy out of 4. He comes down, the checkered flag's out, and the winner is Dick Trickle.
Dick Trickle in car number 99 not only wins the Molson Canadian 300, but that also propels him into the ASA Points Championship lead.
That's right, Bill, and while we look at the final standings, that win also makes it 6 victories for GM, 4 for Ford. Here's Bill Inkall with the winner.
Did you do any research or extra work on your car at all?
No, we stuck pretty well with the basic setup, you know, because we know this car runs good. Let's just get it right. Let's just try to get it ironed out and get everything neutral on it. And the car is the same car that we've been running for 2 years. We got a little bit better engine from prototype, and the car was just hooked up.
Dick Trickle, the Molson Canadian 300 champion. For that victory, he receives a Molson trophy, the winner's ring, and the lion's share of the $80,000 from Craig Prentice. On behalf of Gary Poindexter, this is Bill Inkall saying so long from the Cayuga International Speedway.